The views in the following program reflect those of the participants and not necessarily of Rogers or Rogers TV. Hello everyone and welcome to Mommy Talk. Today we're going to talk about easy family health and wellness. We have an expert on the show today that's going to move us through a few different topics of how we can eat more whole foods, how we can be a little more healthier in our lifestyle, and how we can actually grow our own foods. So we're going to get right into it. Welcome, Linda. Thank you for being on the show, and welcome, Hope. Thank you for being on the show. Hope is our guest mom host. She's going to tell us a little bit about her family. So tell us about your family, Hope.
Well, I'm a mother of 4, and I have a stepson. I've got 2 boys and 3 girls.
Okay. And Linda, tell us about your family.
I helped to raise my niece from grade 6 on through, now graduated from university, and was thrilled to be able to step in when family help was needed.
Great. Yeah, that's wonderful. Very good. And tell us how you became passionate about health and wellness.
Well, I can't talk, sorry. Just through the years, I started to see different health issues popping up within the family. My grandparents should have lived a lot longer than they did, and so issues happened there, and then my father had some health issues. So it became more and more apparent to me that it had to have things to, sorry, that you have, what you put in your body and do to yourself can make a huge difference in your health.
Especially if you're seeing it in your family. You're seeing that there's health issues, and so you're like, well, you know, we got to get better here. We got to intake better things. So one of the things we're going to talk about is the beginnings of health, which is growing and buying and eating local. So what is it you have to offer us today about growing our own food?
Well, it actually started for me way back when I was a child, because we had a garden, and I lived in Toronto at that time, and we had a good-sized yard, so we started gardening and growing some vegetables and pickling and making sauces, things like that.
Right.
And then my mom even let me go door to door with some of the excess and make little extra pocket money.
Nice.
So that was fun.
Aww.
And yeah, it was
Do you
great.
have any experience with gardening, Hope?
Very little. My dad did a few small gardens when I was a kid. Just some cherry tomatoes and carrots and stuff.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Does your family enjoy eating fresh produce?
I definitely do in one of my kids. I have difficulty with 2 of the kids getting them to eat because they have sensory issues.
Well, kids in general, a lot of the times have a hard time eating
Things have to look a
fruits
certain way.
or vegetables, fresh vegetables. I mean, it's hard to get them interested in it, and that's one of the things we're really going to focus on is how to get children interested in eating fresh vegetables. Linda's got some great pointers for us. She's going to show us some really cool things. So, Linda, what's the importance of eating healthy like this, eating fresh vegetables and fruits?
Well, study after study has certainly shown that the fresher food that you can put into your body, the more basic, the whole foods like the raw fruits and vegetables, that's where your cellular growth starts. So the better quality that you can put in rather than the processed and things that are full of chemicals and salts and sugars, the healthier you're going to be.
Why is local always so important? Like, why do people always talk about eat local, eat local? Why?
Local is really important for a number of reasons. Number one, when you're buying something that's been shipped from China or wherever, you don't know what was put on that, you don't know how it was grown. It was picked more than likely before it was fully ripened.
Right.
And so it's shipped thousands of miles, which is also not good for our environment. And then quite often the vegetables are gassed to make them appear ripe. and you're eating something that really has very little nutritional value to it.
Yeah.
So if you can go down the street to your local farmer, or your local farmer's market, or out in your own backyard and pick it, it's going to have far more nutritional value.
Right. Very good. Well, when we come back, we're going to delve more into this, and we're going to learn how we can grow our own food. So when we come back, we're going to talk more about family, wellness, and health when we come back on Mommy Talk. The views in the following program reflect those of the participants and not necessarily of Rogers or Rogers TV. Welcome back to Mommy Talk. We're discussing easy family health and good eating habits. So Hope, can you tell us a little bit about the good and the struggles you have in your home when it comes to eating habits?
Oh geez, okay. So between the 4 kids, everybody likes different things. One thing that's prominent in the house is starchy, carby foods. That's what everybody wants. So I have 2 children that are high functioning autistic. In all fairness, I started off with very great intentions with my first child who's autistic, you know, very healthy eater as a baby, and something happened somewhere, his sensory issues kicked in, and now getting him to eat a healthy meal is trying to pull teeth. He won't eat vegetables, very limited fruits. My very youngest is like that as well. Hers is more of a smell and texture issue. If it smells off or it looks different, she won't eat it.
Right.
Whereas my second child is a great eater. She eats everything. She eats raw veggies. She eats everything. So it's, you know, quite the dynamic between the 4 kids. And it's a struggle in our house to keep everybody happy.
Yeah. Well, one of the things Linda's going to share with us now is how to encourage kids to be interested in vegetables. So tell us how we can do that.
Yes.
Well, the more variety I think that you give to them and getting them involved in what you're doing, in what you're trying to feed them. And that goes right back to the very beginning. If you can get children involved in actually growing fruits and vegetables with you and encouraging them along that, they get fascinated by it.
And you have some awesome pictures of a product that you distribute, that you sell. It's called a Tower Garden. Tell us about the Tower Garden.
Well, the Tower Garden is an aeroponic method of growing your own vegetables and fruits. And aeroponic refers to air and water, so there's no soil involved.
Okay.
And this is a vertical garden, so it's growing up rather than spreading out. And in that way, you're saving space.
So hold on, how do you grow without soil? Really?
Well, it's amazing, really. I was very surprised myself when we first started doing this at just how tremendously productive the tower is.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
We're going to look at some pictures.
Okay.
We're going to see pictures of the tower and see how productive it really is. So here we go. Tell us, walk us through each of these pictures.
So this is the beginning. What you're seeing there is what's called rock wool, which is basically spun rock. And that's the growing media. So you plant your seeds, whatever seeds you would like, in your rock wool. And then once they get to an inch or so high, you can transfer them into the tower structure itself. And in the tower, there's a reservoir down the bottom that
there we
holds.
go. There's the tower.
There's the tower. So each of those little pots basically holds a plant. And you can grow anything from lettuce to beans to watermelon to just about everything on my tray here. Tomatoes grow tremendously. Anything that doesn't grow below the ground.
Right.
Like you can't grow carrots in
No.
it. And you can't grow apples and oranges, but everything in between. It's fantastic for herbs. You can grow edible flowers in it. Strawberries.
What's this
That is a watermelon.
That's a baby
That's a baby
watermelon.
watermelon. That one's just gotten
That's
started.
adorable.
Yes. And so watermelons, tomatoes.
About strawberries.
Yeah, strawberries are
raspberries and
great.
stuff.
That's
Yeah.
actually, I think, edamame that's showing there. Zucchini grows really well in the tower. There's some zucchini.
There's the zucchini, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Those all come out of those holes that are on the side of the tower.
correct.
And so you don't need a lot of land space for this.
3 feet.
Wow.
So it doesn't use any soil at all.
No soil at all.
No
there's
soil.
There's a special mineral blend that you add to the water on an as-needed basis. And this is, not only does it only use 3 feet, but it recirculating the water, therefore, that's the bigger watermelon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, recirculating the water so that you're only using about 10% of the water that would normally be needed to grow these plants.
Wow.
So I have a question. Is this just for outdoors or can you use it indoors?
No, you're going to see a picture also of the tower with lights on. So
Yeah, that
that's
picture's
one of
coming up
the,
here.
that's a pepper there. And
What is that?
that's a green pepper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've grown cayenne peppers, green peppers, red peppers on the
Geez,
towers.
you would need a greenhouse if you had one of these, eh?
Exactly. You
That's
bring it indoors in
wonderful.
the winter and you can...
There's the tower in
there's
full
more,
bloom.
yeah, towards the end of the season. I keep mine outdoors in the summer and I bring them indoors in the winter.
That
and,
is a
and
fantastic
Here we
idea.
go.
there it is with lights on
There's
it.
the
Wow.
light. So you
Yeah.
can grow, that's in a basement.
That's in a basement, so it's not
Really?
getting any natural light at all. And that's in the middle of the winter.
Does it just come with the
Wow.
lights or is that something you have to purchase
The
separately?
lights are an option.
Okay.
Not everyone wants or needs them.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are areas in the southern United States where you can grow
Yeah.
outdoors
So
year
people can
round.
contact you to get a quote on these tower gardens, and you can include the lights or not, and there's different packages, right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's great. And so with kids especially, it's awesome because I mean they get to see what is growing. They're so excited. They probably like look out the door and oh, I see a tomato, you know.
Well, not only that, but with the tower, actually, things will be growing 3 times faster than they grow in the ground.
Oh, that's
No
great.
way.
Yes, but again, it's all natural. There's nothing, you're not throwing some
Chemicals.
chemical on it to make it
Chemical
do that.
expediting
Right.
stuff.
It's because it's got more consistent water, more consistent nutrients.
Wow.
And so when a child plants, just for example, lettuce seeds, and
Yeah.
2 days later they're popping out of the cube, and then 2 weeks later they can actually go out and pick it and eat it.
I was going to say with the lettuce, because if you're growing it outside, you can actually take lettuce and it'll just keep sprouting lettuce. Is it the same with this?
Exactly.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Well,
Very
that's
nice.
amazing. And you said the production is just amazing.
it is.
That's great. And why is it important for families to eat the food they grow together, eat at home as a family? Why is that important?
The studies have been shown, but I don't think you even need studies for it, that if you have dinner together as a family, it gives you a much better chance to connect, to build a bond, and just to be able to exchange your good and bad about the day.
Right.
You know, actually, we were actually told by nutritionists with kids like ours that have such difficulty with eating, them seeing us eating healthy every day can actually promote
Well, you're a role
healthy
model.
eating just by watching their siblings or watching other kids.
Exactly, and that's my other point. If your children see you eating a salad, see you trying new vegetables,
Right.
And if you do that on a consistent basis, then they're going to do it also.
Yeah,
Even
you're
if just
gonna
out
be
of
a role model.
curiosity,
Yes.
even, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get into talking about food safety and reading our labels. You brought a can here with us. Tell us about reading labels. Why is that important?
Well, reading labels is key because if you can't pronounce the things that are on that label, why do you want to be putting it into your
It's
body?
a very good point.
Yeah. And if you can look at something and see how much sugar, how much salt, how much fat is in there, you can make better choices. And the labels have actually gotten easier to read. So it's not that difficult to take a
I'm
few
going to show
minutes.
the label here.
Yeah. Now this particular product that I bought was actually, I wanted to mention, it makes a great healthy snack. Chickpeas. Most people think, ooh, what are chickpeas?
Yeah.
They're great throwing in a salad or whatever, but take that, drain the brine off of it, which can now be, I've just discovered a fantastic recipe for meringue cookies made with chickpea brine.
Oh, wow.
And they taste fantastic.
Great.
So they're egg free and everything. But then you take those chickpeas, toss them in a little bit of olive oil, and put whatever spices or sweetness you want on it, roast it in the oven. Far healthier for you than
Right.
potato chips, and they taste great.
Right. Now, going back to Hope and some of her issues she has with some of her children that
Yes.
don't eat very well, what about hiding vegetables? How can you give us some point? Do you
Do you
hide
know,
vegetables into your food?
I did. I tried that, and that was strongly recommended against.
Oh.
If there's any possibility that it will change the appearance of the food, specifically with autistic children, don't do it because you could scare them away from that food forever.
Really? Oh, okay.
I think maybe hiding it in a way, like when I do pizza, nobody wants vegetables in the pizza. I have
Yeah.
a vegetable chopper and I chop it up so small
Can you
that
put
they
it in the
can't see
sauce
it.
and they can't even
Yeah,
see it? Yeah.
stuff like that.
So
I
is
mean,
that
it's-
something you recommend?
Well, I do recommend it.
Trying to find ingenious
yes.
ways to hide food?
Exactly, and putting it in a sauce is great because
Yep.
then you can't see it if it's chopped up really fine.
Yeah.
Doing smoothies, things like that, where you can add extra fruits and extra vegetables into the smoothie.
Right.
Even using a dark cup with a lid and drinking it through a straw, it's amazing how they'll drink something
Right.
green if they don't know it's green.
True,
So-
yeah. Get one of those lids that
well,
are
yeah, but
not
if it's
see-through.
green, you can tell them that it's like an Incredible Hulk.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the
Milkshake
other
or
thing
something.
That,
That
exactly,
is a
you
good,
can do that.
good way
yeah.
of doing it. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
My son
Or
would
if it's
love
red,
that.
it's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Make
right?
it
Superhero.
fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And on the topic of smoothies, you also deal with another product. Can you tell us a little bit about what we have at the front of the table?
Oh, for sure. Juice Plus is a fantastic product that's been on the market now for 20 years, and I've been involved with the company since the beginning. And it is concentrated fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
So it's got over 30 studies that have been done at universities and hospitals around the world proving that it's very beneficial. And I'm happy to share the studies with anyone. But basically it's capsules, it's chewables, and we have a smoothie drink mix, plus we also have some snack bars. So they're all whole food based.
Very good. Yeah, and that might be something that's very interesting for Hope and what you're saying with some of your children, that these supplements, can you tell us a little bit about the supplements? Because I'm sure that
Yeah.
you would
I'm
benefit
very
from that.
interested in that.
Right. Well, between the three blends, the orchard, the garden, and the vineyard, basically you're getting approximately 30 fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. But it's very concentrated. Basically, the water's been removed, and along with the water comes the sugar. So you're not getting the sugar, and it's a very simple way to get those fruits and vegetables into children.
So is this something you would add to a smoothie that you're making?
We have our smoothie mix, which comes in a chocolate and a vanilla flavor.
Okay.
And that can be drunk on its own, mixed with whatever beverage you like.
Okay.
Or you can also open up the capsules and throw them into a smoothie.
Oh, that's good.
So
Great.
that's
And
another way to do it.
That's great. Well, if anybody wants to find out more about Juice Plus, they can get a hold of Linda. We're putting up all her contact info on the screen. And when we come back, we're going to taste a recipe that Linda has provided for us. And we're also going to take a look at a video of our time-lapse growing of our tower that we forgot to do. So we'll see you back on Mommy Talk. The views in the following program reflect those of the participants and not necessarily of Rogers or Rogers TV. Hello everyone, welcome back to Mommy Talk. Now we're gonna taste some awesome homemade food that Linda has prepared for us. Tell us a little bit about what you've prepared for us.
What this is an egg muffin is what I call it, and I've made it just into the small size muffin tin because we're talking specifically about children eating. So I ground up the vegetables quite small, as you said, and then mixed them in, and it's a combination of just eggs, products from the tower, the broccoli.
Well, let's take a look at the tower. The food that you've put into this, we're gonna look at a time-lapse video of how the tower grows these vegetables really quickly. So let's take a look at that. So tell us what's happening here.
Well, this is 4 weeks of growth. So once those seedlings have gone in there, it's amazing how quickly, as I mentioned, the tower grows much
that's
faster.
just crazy.
Than,
That's incredibly amazing. Like, I can't believe it.
so you're eating off the tower within just a couple
So tell
of
us
weeks.
just a few of the things that are in that and that are in this recipe.
Well, what's in this recipe is the eggs, there's peppers, there's kale, there's broccoli, onions, and that's pretty much
Sounds
it.
delicious.
Great. Well, we'll take a taste. We're going to enjoy it, and you're going to tell us about some more of little healthy snacks that you have prepared for us.
Definitely. So one of the things I like to encourage is for younger children particularly, just doing a muffin tin, which you've got a variety of cut up fruits and vegetables and dips in it, because that way they can pick and choose, and if it's in smaller quantities, they're not overwhelmed. I mentioned the chickpeas as a great snack. Another terrific snack is to use chia seeds, and they are very glutinous, so you mix those with a liquid and they can make into a pudding, they can make into freeze them into popsicles. So these are all healthy ways that you can again get more
Popsicles.
nutrition into their diets. Another one is avocado chocolate pudding. Avocados are so healthy, and you can also make avocado popsicles or
Do they
fudgicles.
taste like avocados?
Oh
or?
no, God! They taste like chocolate.
So how would you quickly make that? Tell us the recipe for that.
You have ripe avocados, throw them in your food processor, add a banana for sweetness, toss in a little cacao powder, chocolate powder, blend it together. You've got it.
Yum.
That's awesome.
It's very
That's
easy.
so great.
And I'm happy to share any of these recipes with anyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
We're actually going to put one of the recipes on the screen so that everybody can jot it down. So tell us, just in the end, why is it so important that we teach our children about this?
If you don't start at a young age, then they get into the bad habits of eating crap.
Yes.
And I think the earlier that you can start, and again, by showing the example of doing it yourself, you're setting them up for long-term good health, rather than spending the last few years in a nursing home or a heart attack.
Habits, establishing good habits. And that's one thing that you always strive to do. Is,
I tried to. I have good intentions.
Absolutely.
Good intentions.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't force your kids, but you can always give them a role model, right?
Encourage.
And just quickly, a little bit about food safety. So the tower, it's completely safe for growing?
It's so much better than bringing things in imported. You know, we've heard about listeria and all the foodborne illnesses that are happening. When you can take control of your own food supply, then you know what's in it, what's on it. So if you can grow...
incredible amount of money you'd save.
Exactly.
Yeah. How much do you think that a family would save having one of the towers?
Well, once you've got it growing, you're not going to be going to the grocery store for almost everything on this tray can be growing from the tower. So you can see how quickly you can...
We spend $300 a week in groceries to feed our family, so this would cut that down.
Well, and you mentioned off stage about the price of healthy food.
It's ridiculous.
It's so expensive.
Kraft dinner is $1 something for a box.
And I won't even buy it.
But a pepper is $2.
Well, and for a while there, cauliflower was like, what, $7 for a head of cauliflower? That was ridiculous.
Yeah. And you must monitor these things and see these changes all the time.
Exactly, and especially in the winter, not only does the quality of the food go down, but the price goes up.
Yeah.
So this way you can grow enough to freeze, or you can grow all year round in your basement.
That's what
or
I like.
whatever
I like
area
that
you
fresh food at your fingertips. Love it.
Yeah, that's really good. I think that we've learned a lot of really important things today. I think that if people want to get a hold of you, you are a consultant, wellness consultant, so people can get a hold of you for advice.
Definitely.
They can find you on Facebook. You have a website too?
It's easyfamilyhealth.ca.
Great. Yeah, that's great. And so people can get a hold of you, get some advice, look on your Facebook, learn. We're going to put the recipe up there. Thank you so much for everything you've taught us today. There's probably so many other things you want to tell us about, but we'll just have to come back again. And thank you, Hope. Thanks for sharing your personal experiences with your children, and I hope that you've got to learn something today.
I did.
Thanks so much, everyone, and find us on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll see you again next time on Mommy Talk.